Okay.
Okay. Hi everyone. So today will be steganography by me and Debbie. So I'll be taking the first half, about 30 minutes, and Debbie will take the second half. For my part, we will be talking about LSB-Steganography or least significant bit steganography, and this is the table of contents. So we'll go through some introductions and some basic terminology before we go into the actual steganography. And then as the kind of like meat of my section, we'll talk about the difference between theory and practice. And now I'll show you guys the challenge number 1. So without further ado, we will start. Let's say I ask you guys a very general question. Inside this slide, I've hidden a flag somewhere. Where do you guys think the flag is? So I'll give you guys 10 seconds to think about this, and then later I'll show you. Okay, so I'm pretty sure none of you would expect this. The flag is actually hidden here. And the whole idea is, and this is very tied closely to steganography, because steganography is the art of hiding things in plain sight, especially where people do not think to look. And this second part is really the essence of steganography, as you guys will find out later. Okay, some basic. So we'll be dealing with digital images today. So some basics. So what is an image? So what we have is a very pixelated version, so that we can better understand the anatomy of an image. So an image is a collection of pixels, such as this, and that begs the question: what is a pixel? For the purpose of this learn-to-learn, right, we'll be dealing with grayscale images or black and white images. RGB images are slightly more complicated. So in the context of grayscale images, a pixel is just an 8-bit unsigned integer, meaning it can take on values from 0 to 255. 0 represents the color black. So like here, these pixels were the value of 0, and 255 is white, such as here. Everything else will be in between. Like the body of Charmander is 163, and if you go even darker, it's like the tail here at 87. So the range is from black, which is 0, to white, which is 255. And that the number corresponds to the intensity of the color. 0 means no intensity. White means full intensity. Just for your information, RGB images are a trituple or a triple of 8-bit unsigned integers, each representing the intensity of red, green, and blue. And then when superimposed, they'll give you the colored pixel. So an image is basically an m by n matrix or 2D array where each entry is an 8-bit unsigned integer from 0 to 255. So you can see here like all the blacks are zeros, and the 163 is uniform. And then here the tail we have 87, and the outside is quite white, nearing the 230 and above. So for now, let's play a game. I will modify a pixel in this image. And can you guess which pixel was modified? So this is the original image. I'll give you 2 seconds to remember. Okay, so round 1. Can anybody tell me which pixel was modified? Actually, maybe I should call someone. I think nobody replied. Oh, then Daniel, you are the first one on the list. Which pixel do you think was changed between these two images?
Me? No, I was replying to the previous question, but I don't know. Not my eyesight not good.
Oh, hey, is this bottom bar blocking you, or is it only I can see the bottom bar?
Oh, we all can see.
Oh,
Hey, I saw already. Top left.
Yes, correct. Okay, then I just if this bar is blocking you, you tell me. Let's see how I can hide it. Okay, yeah. So then you're correct. This top pixel that is different. And why was it so obvious to you? The reason is because there's a big change in the number. So from 237. Oh, you guys should can you guys see the actual numbers? Because it's quite small. But the numbers are quite important. You guys can see the numbers. Just let me know in the chat. Okay, now okay, great. So yeah, back to this. The pixel changed from 237 to 0, so it almost flip color from white to black. So that's why it was so easy to spot. But now for the second round, which this is the second version. I'll give you guys 10 seconds to spot which pixel was changed. But don't worry, I won't call anyone for this because it's quite hard. If you get it, yeah, I don't think anyone can get it. So you guys just try your best. Yeah, okay. So the in between these two images, I actually changed every single pixel. More specifically, I increased or decreased the value of each pixel by one, semi-arbitrarily. Yeah. So like 237 over here, 236 over here, 237 over here, 236 over here. So it's quite, and the point I'm trying to make here is that if you make such a small change, right, even at such a low resolution where we can see every single pixel, nobody will be able to tell that every single pixel was changed. And so this is the foundation of LSB-Steganography, where what does this tells us? If we change an image pixels, right, the least significant bit, these changes to the overall photo are imperceptible to the naked eye. And so this is all we need to implement LSB-Steganography. So that's all for the basics. Now we'll go into the actual steganography, and we'll begin with a question. Let's say we have an image of dimensions m by n, so m rows and n columns. Can we hide a file of size mn bits? So I'll let you guys think about this for a while. Lisa, are you there? This is a yes or no question, so I would like your.
Yes.
Okay, great, you got it. So how exactly does this work? Let's say we have the binary and we have the bit string like this. The first step we need to do, and I need to find out that this is a very nice coincidence that the actual image is m by n pixels and the file is mn bits. So the idea here is that we can, oh, okay, sorry. This picture, right, is, I think it's 21 by 18. So that's the dimension. Yeah, so let's say we have a bit string, right, the binary, and we know that the photo that we want to hide this binary in is an m by n matrix. So we can convert these mn bits into an mn matrix by making a line break every n bits. So it looks something like that. So let's say this is the bit, the binary data, right? We make a line break every n bits. To create something like that. And so this is exactly an m by n matrix where every entry is a bit. And this is what we'll use to perform the LSB steganography. Once we have this big matrix, right? The next step is to hide all of this information inside our images. So superimpose our big matrix onto the target image, and it will look something like that. Of course, this is a bit of a contrast example because the big matrix is exactly the size of the photo. So we can just hide each of these bits right inside each of the corresponding pixels. So pixel number 1, we'll set the LSB to 0. Pixel number 2, we set the LSB to 1, and so on and so forth. And that is how we can hide any binary file into the photo, provided that the photo has enough pixels to hide every bit of the data. So the result is correct. We can set the LSBs of the various pixels to their corresponding entries in the bit matrix. And this is, let me see. And it's a bit blocking, but never mind. So this is the original image. And after hiding our binary inside the original image, we get this resulting matrix. Yeah. So can anybody tell me what is the LSB of the first 4 pixels? Anna, are you there? So this is quite a hard question, so if you want to pass, it's okay also. Do you know what's the LSB of the first 4 pixels?
As in the modified one.
Yes, correct. The one that I highlight in
The bit like 0110.
Yes, correct. Do you want to share with everybody how you did it so quickly?
Whether it's a multiple of 2.
Yes, correct. Or you can think of it as even or odd. So if it's even, the LSB is 0. If it's odd, the LSB is 1. So as a sanity check, let's go back to the previous slide and see what is the first 4 bits that we're trying to hide in the photo. And you can see that it is indeed 0110. So just like that, with this very simple protocol, we're able to hide a binary file inside this image. And if you take a look at like the image itself, nobody will be able to tell that we've hidden something inside this very innocent image. And I guess that's the power of steganography, because most people won't even register to them that something might be going on beneath the surface. And if they don't catch that possibility, they're never going to go down that line of thought. So mission success. We've hidden a file of mn bits into a picture of dimension m by n. So that is all theory when it comes to LSB-Steganography. But as I hope to illustrate, there are a lot of nuances when it comes to actual applications of trying to break LSB-Steganography. So let's say we have this image over here, and we know for sure 100% that somebody hid something inside this photo using LSB-Steganography. Maybe I start off with a very general question. Who thinks that we'll be able to recover the thing that's hidden inside here? And who think actually never mind. That question isn't very important. But let's say we want to recover what's hidden inside. What would be the first step? Brandon, are you there? Maybe you can answer this.
Yeah. I think for me, I will probably try to run it through some like generic online tools, such as like EXIF.
Oh, okay. I see. Brandon, don't move first. That's a reasonable approach, but maybe in the context of what we've covered so far.
Oh, okay. Like try to find maybe an original source of the picture and see whether there's any like distinct changes, or there's like, or like try to compare them, see whether there's any differences.
Okay. Actually, that's a very thanks, Brandon, for the input. But that's actually a very a more advanced approach already. I was looking for something simpler, so I'll just tell you guys what I was expecting. And but your idea is very good. The only issue is that if the person knows what he's doing, right, he will never reuse an image that's available online, so that I guess the good guys, right, won't have a point of reference. And it's very easy to create a new image entirely, because you can just take one with your handphone. So that's a very powerful technique to cross-reference with online images and find like the difference in pixel values at the LSB level. It's I would say more often than not is not very effective in real life. But the answer I was expecting was, the first step is we need to find out how many what's the size of the original binary. Because if we don't know how many pixels to isolate, we won't be able to recover the file at all. And this is in fact, at this first step, right, we're stuck already. Because if we don't, we can't know what's the size of the original binary. And so most often than not, right, with this very simple approach, right, the first step, it will be impossible already. But let's say we have an oracle and I tell you that the file size, right, is n bits in size. What would be the next step? Akash, are you here? Let's say you know that the original size binary is n bits big, and you know that it's hidden inside this image. How will you next try to recover the binary?
Hello, yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Can. Or if it's impossible, you can say it's impossible also. That's a valid answer.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
Just now.
I think you can just like open your file up in some application. We can view the color values, and try to figure out from there.
Okay, that might or might not be possible. Okay. We will just leave that as it is first. But actually I was expecting you guys to say we need to find the n pixels that correspond to the binary. Because if we know that let's say the entire photo, right, is 3n in size and the binary is n bits, which of the n bits in the 3n pixels contain the information we need for the binary? This is the second key that we are missing. And so we need to know the MO, there wasn't enough space here, so I had to keep it short. We need to know the modus operandi. How did the original person hide the binary inside this image? Did he or she hide in the first n pixels? Did he or she hide it in the last n pixels? Or is it some sub-matrix of the whole photo? Or maybe even the first n even pixels, the first n odd pixels. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that it's really not possible to proceed without knowing. And so this is the second level of impossible already. Because he could have hidden the n, he can break the original binary into n bits and hide anywhere in this photo, and it doesn't even have to be sequential. So right at this step, right, we are stuck yet again. And thank you Akash for the answer. You guys are giving responses that are more I guess more realistic because you guys are using real tools, but from if you're trying to break this in theory, right, these are the natural steps to take. And so I guess I'm looking for that kind of low-level answers closer to the theory. And so let's say you have another oracle that tells you that, okay, the original binary is n bits in size, and they're spread across the first n pixels, the first n LSBs in sequential order. So they didn't randomize the order or anything. So from here, naturally, the next thing to do is to find out what is the first n LSBs of the first n pixels, and then we string it together to form a bit string, something like that. So we just write some code, extract the first n bits, convert everything to bytes, and then we write it out as a byte file so that we have the binary. And then if you do that, and then when you successfully do this, right, from the image, you will be able to extract a binary file. And so it seems like, okay, that's just it. But can anybody tell me what's the problem with this? With what is there any problem you see over here? Maybe Zihan, if you know. What do you think is the issue? Let's say you are the one who's trying to recover the binary, and you reach this step already. But then, what's the issue here? Or maybe it's not. Calcium, will you like to give it a try?
Oh, Zihan is here.
Oh, is it? Oh, he let me check. Oh, hi, Zihan. So yeah. So let's say from this image, right? Let's say you did all the steps, you find LSB, you extract it, and you write it out to a file, and then you are here. What do you think is the problem with this? What is the problem that you will be facing now at this step? Okay, actually you're correct. It doesn't run. And so more specifically, right, we don't know what's the file format. And if you don't know what the file format is, right, you cannot access the content because you don't know what the medium. Is it an MP3 file, MP4 file, JPEG, PNG? There are many kinds of types of file. It can even be an Excel file or a Word document. And without knowing what it's a file format, right? We just cannot proceed because we are unable to access the content inside the appropriate medium. Because every file, right, is just a string of bits. The only difference is the file extension actually, which tells the operating system, right, how to interact with that file so that the string of bits, right, will make sense. If you try and if you can use your terminal to like change a PNG file into a .word document file, and then you try when you double click it, right, the operating system will try to open a file in Word document, but then it will probably crash. So really, the only difference between files on disk, right, is the file extension. And in this case, we cannot proceed if we don't know what's the file extension. So this is like the third level of impossible already. It's just too difficult to given a picture, right? And even if we know how it is done, we just cannot get to the thing that was embedded inside the image. But let's say again that the third oracle tells you that the file is just .png. Okay, then very simple. You just open up the terminal, change the file extension from just add a .png file, and then naturally in the Windows Explorer, right, the OS will be able to register this is or at least it thinks that it's a PNG file. And so at this stage, right, we are very close already. After getting 3 free passes, right, we are at a stage where we can finally open the photo and see what's inside. But yeah, okay. So at this point, right, it will be like for maximum effect, it will be like a concurrent demo. So I'll be showing you guys these steps in real life. Yeah, so let's say inside this folder, right, I got the Pokemon image, and then I know the file size, I know how it was hidden, and I know like the file format. Let me extract it now. Okay, so I'll give you guys 5 seconds to like yeah, okay, never mind. You know the 5 seconds. So this is the thing that was hidden inside the photo all along. And so we're gonna open it and see it now. What exactly is it? Okay. Can everybody tell me what this is? Or maybe it's a little small. Maybe Wei Cheng. Hello. You want to give this a try? What do you think is hidden inside the Pokemon image? Oh, I think maybe it's not there. Okay, then let's start from the top again. Daniel, what do you think is the thing that was hidden inside the Pokemon image?
This thing
Yeah.
looks like password list.
Okay, that is very good. But unfortunately, right, you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
But it's let's say any cookie cutter cybersecurity expert does this, and he or she will just this step. He will think that, oh, okay, it is some not really pixelated, but let's just call it some pixelated credential list. So maybe at least you try and tell Bob like, oh, we got the we got the hash password or something, and then from there, right, they'll be very excited, and then they just pat themselves on the back, call it a good job, job well done. But this is the most dangerous step because they are wrong. It's not a list of credentials. And this is the hardest question of my part. Anybody know why this answer is wrong? That anyone who thinks that this is a list of credentials would be wrong. But does anybody know why? I'll give you guys like 10 seconds. And it's very related to the very first slide, where I say that steganography is the art of hiding things in places where people do not think to look. So if nobody can answer that, maybe I'll just call one person, see whether.
I think we have an answer in the chat.
Okay, let me see. Oh yes, correct. It's double steganography. So the point here is that this isn't this is a bit of a trap. Alice knew that I would be able to get to this step, and so she made it easy enough for me to break the LSB-Steganography, where otherwise it would have been impossible. And the real file, right, is hidden inside this image, and so that's very good. So let's go back to the. So you reach this step, right? And now the next level of impossibility, right, is we don't know how deep the steganography is. It doesn't have to be 2. It can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. And maybe as a like just a fun question, right? If the original photo is, let's say, n bits in size, right? How many times can you perform steganography on it? It's a math question, but I won't go into it. But you guys can. It's quite fun. Like you can think about it in your own time. Yeah. So now at this level, right? We don't know how many times we need to perform the steganography, and for each time that we try to go one level deeper, right? We need to go through all of this again. So now we're trying to break this image, right? But we don't know what's the file size, we don't know what's the MO, we don't know what's the file format. And so with each level of steganography, right, the complexity increases in my own words, increases exponentially. But let's say for the sake of this demo, I just tell you that the next I just tell you that the next file, right, is the depth is 2. I tell you the file size, I tell you the MO, I tell you the next the last level, right, is a text file. And so let's say you're able to get to this step. Then yeah, let's go back to the let's say with 4 free passes, right? Actually, it's more than 4 because we did two levels of steganography. But let's just say it's 4. Let's say we have a lot of free passes, and we finally reach the final step already, the text file. And so the answer is waiting for us when I double click. But it's not as easy as it looks like. And maybe before I show you guys why, anybody want to make a guess? I think you guys are quite good at this. I didn't think you guys would get the double steganography. But what do you think is the issue here with this final file? We have it. We have it already. We know we can access the medium also. We know the medium, we can access the content. But what's the issue with it? What's the issue now? This is the final part already of the section. I give you guys 10 seconds. If you guys cannot, then I just review the answer. Oh, okay. That's close enough. That's close enough. So the issue is this. The content is encrypted. And so we did all of this work, right? And we're not even back at square 1, we're back at square 0. So if this was properly encrypted with AES-256 with some well-generated key, right? There's no way we're going to break it. Or at the very least, it's mathematically secure. So after all that work, right? Without the key, we were never close in the first place. So this is the thing. So that's the end of the demo. So we go back to the slides. So after all that work, right, the file was encrypted, or at the very least, the content is encrypted. And so, like, we just went around in rounds, only to get no work done, basically. And the worst possible outcome is if we write the report and then we just submit, say like, oh, okay, this is what they were trying to do. Then the higher ups are like, oh, okay, we got them. Then we try and like make decisions based off of this result. then that will be falling into their trap already. But even if we were smarter than that, right? Like, it's I claim it's impossible to break LSB-Steganography. And in my opinion, the only reason why steganography can be, there can be stego challenges, right, in CTF, and you can even use tools to break them, right, is because they made it possible, they made it possible such that tools can break them. Or I don't even know how the tools work, but yeah, I honestly don't think it's possible. So that brings us to our challenge. So intelligence has intercepted some suspicious message from Team Rocket intended for their leader Giovanni. It has been determined that a C executable of size this number of bytes is hidden inside the image via LSB-Steganography. Can you recover the hidden image? So this is the image that I prepared for you guys. So I mentioned that the C executable hidden within is this number of bytes, and I'll tell you upfront that it is hidden in the first that number of pixels in sequential order. So you don't have to you just need to extract LSBs of the first don't know how many pixels, right? You string it together and you write it as a binary file, and you tag it with the .exe file format. Then from there you should be able to get the flag. But while simple, right? I claim that if you can do it, you would really understand LSB-Steganography at a very technical level already. And then from there, right, you'll be free to write your own scripts to hide and recover stuff from your own stego protocol, which can be quite sophisticated. So by the very least, if you manage to solve this challenge, right, you would be you will have, in my words, you would have learned a new skill already. So that's all for my section. Any questions about the content or this challenge? If no, then I will.
I have a question, but just a extension, I guess, or application wise. Do you have any case studies of where LSB is used by maybe attackers or whoever is trying to hide stuff?
Any case studies to share, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for real life application, I can share one, but I don't really know, I don't really follow up with the news or read papers on good people actually successfully breaking inside. So with regards to that part, I cannot share a lot. But let's say, right, let's say this image, right, is not some sensitive information. Let's say this image is some work of art that you did. So you know what's NFT? Do you guys know what's NFT? NFT is it's really hard to explain. Okay. NFT is basically you know how in real life when you buy a painting, right? Paintings can fetch a large sum of money because it is unique, and you can if you buy it, right, you know that you have the real thing, and then you can put it inside your house and all that, and then you can feel good. But why is it not the case with digital assets such as songs or pictures? Because it can be easily duplicated, and then you send your friends and all that. So there's no scarcity, and so without this scarcity, right, there isn't value. But these days, right, there's this new trend called NFT. I think it's called non-fungible tokens, where art, right, can be sold for a large amount of money because people can prove that it was the first in existence using blockchain technology. So maybe you are the inventor of the Doge meme, and then I think somebody actually bought the Doge meme as an NFT for quite some sum of money. But basically they bought it because they had proof that Doge meme was the first in existence before any other copies came to light. And so with regards to that, right, we can do something similar. So let's say then you got this, you created some art, right, or maybe you post on DeviantArt, but you don't want people to copy and then you spread around. So how can you you're as the originator of this source, right? How can you safely protect yourself against people who try and copy your work? So one thing you can do is use LSB-Steganography to hide a text file inside. Then inside this text file, you say "Hi, my name is Daniel. I was the one who created this image on don't know which date, don't know which time." So and then you post this on DeviantArt. So let's say some cookie cutter script kiddie try and copy, right? Then post on their own website, and then they say, oh, I was the first one who I was the one who drew this, and then Daniel just like he stole my work and then published it before me. But then you can directly download the file that he has on his webpage, right? Run your LSB script, extract the file, and then you say, oh, this is actually my work. So and this idea is called watermarking. So you can watermark all of your digital assets. Actually, not really all. You can watermark all digital assets that can have noise in them. So like MP4 file, MP3 file, video and audio files, basically, or maybe some other kind of file also. But you can watermark them with like your signature, and it can be whatever you want also, like the signature. Yeah, so that's one real life application of how you can use LSB-Steganography. Yeah, then inside the text file, you've got your own stuff.
Oh, okay. That sounds quite useful for that use case.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so if you guys have other questions, you can just ask me offline. I'll pass the time to Debbie now.
Thanks, Nigel. Give me a minute, I share the screen. Can see?
Yes, can.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Can see the top bar though, if you don't mind. Just takes up a bit more space, but it should be okay.
Okay, give me a minute, I hide the top bar. Okay, this should be okay now. Can? Better?
The stuff is still up there, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Just a bit of space taken.
Nah, I think that's okay. Nothing private there. Okay. If everyone's okay with that, then I'll just go ahead with it lah. I don't mind the top bar there. Okay. So thanks, Nigel. I'll be talking about more steganography, but this time around not image steganography. So this is the contents for today. I'll be talking about some useful tools that you can use during CTF if you encounter any steganography challenges. And I'll also be talking about an intro to text steganography before introducing my challenge. Yeah. So when it comes to useful tools, I think these are quite a few tools that really helped me save a lot of time during the CTFs. So the first one is an EXIF tool. For those who already own a MacBook, it doesn't matter if you use an EXIF tool or not, because you can actually right click and just view properties from MacBook, and you can already see the metadata there. Yeah, especially for images, you can see everything, like including GPS location, all that. So fun fact. So strings sometimes come in helpful. That one you can use it on a Linux or Unix machine. I'm not sure about Windows because I haven't used one in like 6 years. StackSoft is something I personally use. You can see it from my previous demo in for image steganography, and Audacity is for audio steganography. Yeah, and of course you need some luck lah, because steganography, like what Nigel said earlier today, just now, that you don't really know how deep steganography goes for a certain challenge. So I think luck plays quite an important role here as well lah. Yeah. So I'll be showing like a rough demo on the EXIF tool. But give me a moment. I think I have to change my screen share. So let's say I use like the previous challenge from the Learn2Learn. Okay lah, find a random image. Sorry, give me a moment, guys. I can no longer find my image. Okay, I reshare the page. For example, let's talk. Okay, for example, we have this image, right? This very nice cat that is from our t-shirt. So you can actually right click. For MacBook, at least you can right click. And when you go down to properties, the get info, you can see that it is made on my iPad and on the 8th December at a certain timing. So basically, right, it tells you whether there is an alpha channel which can be used in steganography, and like what kind of color space is it using, what's the dimensions. So it gives you more information about the picture. And if it's a photo that has been taken on, let's say, a mobile phone, you should be able to see, for example, like GPS location, etc. And that usually comes in quite helpful for like very basic steganography challenges or even other types of challenges. Yeah. So that is a very short demo, but because I cannot find the original image, I've used another image. So if you guys still want to know about how to find the GPS location on images, right, you can just PM me offline. Okay, so I'll go on to talking about text steganography. This is like a very basic intro to it. So text steganography is basically a mechanism that that you use to hide secret text messages inside another text. So you use it to like cover up a secret message, or you can even generate a cover message that is like relevant to the original secret message, depending on what kind of system you're using to hide this secret text message. So for example, there is something very interesting that I want to share with everyone. So given this typical book extract here from American Psycho, what are some examples of ways that we can hide a secret message inside here? Anyone got any ideas? And maybe you also can like unmute so that I don't read the chat. Failing love. Okay. Use the white spaces. Yes, that's an idea. That's one way. Oh. You put that out of second line. Okay, interesting. But that was not that's not the hidden message in this. Although it could be, but it's not. Any other ideas? Okay. Actually, yes. Brandon, that's a very good point. Using patterns. Yeah, I think one thing that has been quite popular in steganography is patterns. Especially for things like text steganography, there's always a certain system to it, no matter how hidden it is. That's my opinion. Nth character of each word. Yes, that's possible. Although, if let's say extract it from a book, may or may not be able to obtain a letter that you require in every word. I think can be quite difficult, but it's possible. I think hiding an nth character, like hiding it in an nth character of each word would definitely allow people to hide a long message in such a paragraph or such an extract, because there are quite a few words here. So, okay, I share with you the example. So this is one example of how you can hide a message in a given extracted text. Everything was originally in a single line, but you can always break line halfway, and then given that you know that this is a spot where you should draw a red line or draw a line, I just have it in red so that it's clear. You can actually see like a certain pattern here, right? So how do you think, what do you think this means? How do you think a message can be hidden given a single red line here? Anyone got any ideas? Okay, or maybe. Cool. Yeah, actually Daniel had a bullseye there. The way the text, the secret message is hidden is where the text past the red line. So given this, one constraint would be that the text has to be pretty long or something that looks like prose, like a poem or something. So it's easy to like have many lines. So given this, right, you can actually tell it exceeds the line, okay, it's a 1. You don't exceed the line, it's a 0. And given enough lines, you should be able to piece together a message. For example 1, right now I'm showing is a possible way that you can hide a message in any given extract. So here's example 2. Same extract, and you're given the following message, this entire long chain of numbers. How do you think the message is hidden in this extract? Maybe a few of you can make a guess. You have a long chain of numbers that is oddly random, and you have a text message. So for example 2, you don't actually have a line already. So then how? Okay, each number corresponds to 1 line. Very accurate. So given that you know that each number corresponds to 1 line, for example, so you split it, right? You split each number in the entire row into this. You have 28. What do you think 28 means? Is it the 28th character? The character after the 28th character? Or so there are lots of possibilities in text steganography, and there are many different systems that you can employ here. For this case, I'm using the character after the 28th character. So the 28th character is here, and this is the 29th character, which is M. So what message do you think this makes? Yes, nice. Very good, Anna. So yes, it means meet at Dawson Road. So fun fact, guys, I'm at Dawson Road, you can come and meet me. No, I'm kidding. I'm not there. Please don't go there. But yes, it means meet at Dawson Road. A short and sweet message can easily be hidden in just several lines of a random like extract. Let's say if you're pulling this straight out of a book, okay. An alternative would be 28 characters, and then this is one that you mark. Then maybe say another 40 something characters, and there's the next one that you mark. So you can actually use both existing text, you can find your own extracts, and you can work from there. So there are tons of possibilities when it comes to this. And I think that's one of the most fascinating things about steganography. So there are lots of possibilities, lots of ways that you can innovate and hide messages. So I think that's one very big like fascination that I have about steganography that I want to share with everybody. Yeah. So let's move on to the challenge. So this challenge is quite different from the past 2 examples that I show everyone. So you've been provided with a mysterious package containing the following material, a single URL. Does everyone want to access the URL? Or I can also access it so that you can see it easily on the screen. Yes, Kelvin, creativity. So this is what you'll see when you access the URL. And of course, the account is a junk account, so don't bother finding other things on it. That is not part of the challenge. So I don't think I can actually share. Actually, can I share sound?
I think
Give me a
so.
moment, guys. I'm going to share the sound. Okay, I think I shared the sound already. I'll play it, then maybe you guys can listen to it and try to figure it out. Does playing it actually help you solve the challenge, or is there another approach? I want to hear everybody's ideas on this. So here we go. Yeah, so this is the challenge. Anyone wants to take a shot at it? Wow, Zihan very fast, huh? Sorry, I'm not Mozart. No Shazam also. But I have a Spotify playlist, Spotify account playlist where I share my favorite songs. You guys want to hear?
Can you just like, what is it? Change this to the, is it the FAB, that kind? Change the musical notes to the letter notation.
Sorry?
Change the musical notes to letter notation.
Yeah, it does make, it is possible to convert it into letter notation not in the typical way where you read the notes. So you don't actually need any musical background to solve this challenge. You don't have to read the notes to solve it. So yeah, I think Kelvin's getting pretty close. It does mix letters, but not in a conventional way. So are there any other possible ways that it can be converted into a message? Yeah, maybe Zihan can make it more complicated, make it like maybe another, like double the number of bars, make it more tough for them. This is a super short challenge. I think can finish by today actually. No, not radio wave. Maybe can take Enigmatrix idea, post on Spotify. But I think maybe SoundCloud easier to post. SoundCloud can post your own music also. Yeah, Kelvin, maybe. So I show you guys the challenge page again. Take a close look at it. You've been provided with a mysterious package containing the following material. Yeah. Yeah, guys, you're getting close. So what message do you think it makes? I have no idea what's interval cipher. Maybe Kelvin can explain more about interval cipher. So if anyone wants to re-listen to this short line of notes again, you can just access the link given here, tinyurl.com/musicmagic version 1. Maybe, Daniel, but no, actually no. David knows. Yeah, Kelzin is right. It's some sort of variation of Morse, or rather, a hint is it is Morse, but how can it be converted into Morse given the music notes? I do think that listening to it is easier. Well, Daniel, maybe we can don't record the back part so that people can like figure it out on the challenge. Because once we post it online, then it may be a hint for the next
CTF?
CTF.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Later can just crop out that part of the video.
Do I
Yeah.
need to pause or stop the recording?
I think
Is there more
can
stuff?
stop.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.